you?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm out in the mountains and right by the river, really secluded from a lot of people, which is amazing.
Oh my gosh. And you look so happy and vibrant with your 80s earrings
Look at
and all
80
sorts
years.
of cool stuff.
I did my little four-leaf clover, that my partner got me.
No way. That's a
Yeah,
four-leaf clover.
it is for sure.
Lucky girl.
Yeah, no, cool story. I got one from Scotland that was way better than this one, but I ended up losing it. And I used to take it around me with me everywhere. And I was
Oh,
like, I
nice.
saw one. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I miss mine. And she ended up surprising me.
Aw, that's so sweet. I love that.
So yeah. Yeah.
Well, the trees look beautiful behind you. I actually had hoped to be outside as well because I haven't yet another background. My green walls are going to have to suffice for my trees on this conversation.
I know, they're perfect. Absolutely. You don't gotta match me, girl. You're perfect where you're at. I've
I
been
know, but
in
I'm like, I'm jealous. You're outside and having a great time. You're like fresh air, like what?
Yeah, no, it's the best. Yeah, I've been in the weirdest places and have done videos before, so I'm like,
Mm,
if I can get a clean internet line, like let's
yeah.
shoot for all the places I can get.
Nice. So you mentioned you've been in weird places, but have you had any like weird experiences while you've been outside?
Girl, that is my life 24/7. Every moment is a really weird experience.
Well, do share. What's been going on?
Let's see, weird, weird, weird. That word is so incorporated into my being, I don't even know. Let's see. I've had a lot of weird alien experiences lately. How about
Oh,
that?
stop it. Okay. Like so many people are talking about disclosure and all these kinds of things, but like maybe it doesn't happen at the UFO descends upon the White House and the president gets on the TV and is like, we have aliens. Like maybe disclosures at an individual level, and certainly as your consciousness sort of is ready to receive it, you start to have these experiences. So like clearly disclosures happening for you.
Oh no, it's happening. But the thing is with this is I've always had that since I was little. So it's
Uh-huh.
like not anything that's new to me. It's just that other people are now experiencing it. I'm like, "Oh, look. Like we're all having these experiences now."
Okay, okay. So I totally get that because like you were born just with the ability to kind of see energy at a totally different level. So like aliens to you, you're like, well, hey Bob, hey Sally.
Like
Nice to
totally.
see you. I haven't seen you for a week. But if someone else is sharing that experience where they haven't had that kind of familiarity and you're
Right.
like both witnessing something like
Totally.
otherworldly. So, oh my God, I'm dying to hear
Well,
what.
it's like, I mean, it's quantum entanglement, right? So if I'm with somebody who's like, dude, I had this experience, and I actually had that was a couple nights ago. I was driving up here, and I have a good buddy of mine, and he's all into the alien stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and it's my energy and my knowing and my experiences coming up against his energy, and it opens up a new doorway, right? Because then I'm also experiencing where he's at.
Oh, because your energy is entwined. And so
Exactly,
it's not
exactly.
necessarily this is your experience and this is his. It's collectively you've created this new sort of
Right.
third. 1 + 1 = 3. And
Exactly.
so the experience was of that collective vibration. That's why it's so important to choose your friends.
Oh, totally. The ones who fit you the best. And also, like, I want to say with that, I can be as weird in myself as possible around the people I'm around.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm having these experiences all day and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, hey, look at that." And then it opens up such another level, and if I'm being real and vulnerable with them, like that just magnifies everything that we're doing. Right?
Yeah. So, okay, well, tell me more. Did you see a craft? Did you see,
Oh, let's shoot
oh,
back.
okay.
About a month ago or so, well, maybe a little over a month ago or so. I went and
Okay.
got my pup, who's sitting right next to me, my
Oh,
service pup, and it was out in South Dakota. Okay, and I was with my partner, and she has been all over like I'm wanting to experience more with aliens. And I'm hearing this more and more just by like people who are out like I'm ready to experience a little bit more about what this universe has to offer, right?
yeah, yeah.
And I'm always laughing because the aliens are always right in our faces. Like they're always right there, like ready for us to interact. It's just is our consciousness and our physical body ready to be able to perceive it,
Yes,
right?
right,
So
right. Because we only really perceive like 1% or
for
something of the
sure,
visible light
for sure.
spectrum. And so if there's something out resonating outside of that, They're like, "Oh, hey Z, how you doing? We've been following you, watching
We've
you,
been here, we're in your
walking
face,
side by side with you."
we're in the trees, we're in animals. Like, I mean, girl, I could go in really deep about what I've seen, but I'm gonna go back to this
Okay,
particular
okay.
topic with
Okay,
that.
okay.
My partner was like, "Yeah, I'm really ready to experience more. Like, let's go with it." I'm like, "Oh, you just called it, so we're gonna see how this goes on the way home, right?" We were driving through, oh, I think it was Wyoming. We were driving through Wyoming.
Okay.
Um, and she had her GPS on, and we hit this weird town. I don't even remember what it's called. But it was the feeling was really off. I was like, I don't really like this. There's nope, and like the GPS was like shooting to different places, right? And so like I'm intuiting it, and I'm like, we just need to get out. Hold on one sec. Moose, Moose, get back on there, buddy. What a good boy.
I know what you're talking about, being in kind of a weird space like that. Because when I was on a road trip, I remember going into like, I don't know, a Dairy Queen. And I'm like, I think I just stepped into a parallel reality. So I totally
Yes,
get
yes,
what
it's
you're,
like that.
it was like, it wasn't real. It felt like NPCs. It felt not real. The
Yep,
entire experience, the building, the
yep,
people, the chairs, all of it felt not real. So I
absolutely.
wonder if that was like, if you kind of went into a similar kind of place.
Oh, for sure. Like to
Okay.
me, it looked entirely different because I was like, there's been some really narky stuff here. It looked military. Like I can see alien stuff moving through there, but the town itself, like the vibe was like, nope. So I'm like, we need to get on this road and get out. Right? Like we just need to go straight. It's fine. We'll figure out the rest. And and she was in her process of it, and she's like, all right, I think we go down this road and get ourselves out. And I'm just sitting back going, yeah, I'm not sure that that's gonna happen. She goes down the road and it takes us off into this field, right? Like
Oh
totally
God.
like totally like way, way off. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you right now that I'm gonna want you to turn around and go back because this is not great.
Yeah, I was feeling worse and worse by the second.
Oh, it was for sure. And then for me, I had lots of memory coming back, lots of alien stuff completely. I could see so many of them. But in this case, on Earth, this particular point was pretty fatal for them, right? I was seeing wars moving around there. I was seeing military interacting with it, and it was pretty harmful. And so as she was moving her way out in the car, I was working with these beings that were in the space, and I was like, what can I do in the space? Obviously, I'm here for a reason. And it was me to remember pieces of it in other lifetimes that I had in the same types of spaces, and to also kind of help with the land to help move it so that it was stabilized.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So it's almost as if they kind of pulled you in because they knew you could
Yeah.
kind of help
Oh,
release it.
totally.
Um,
Totally.
you're like, you could also just book a session, the-zcollective.com. Um,
Hit me up another way. Yeah, no, this wasn't like that. It's usually like that in my existence. So I'm like, even coming out here, it was a call from not just aliens, but Earth. Like, so I'll be doing some deeper, like, ceremonial work after this, actually. Uh,
Oh, cool.
But yeah, yeah. So it was like that, and I was moving it, and she got back on the road, and there was just some other stuff happening. I'm like, this is going to be a good night. We head into another zone where there's just nothing around us, and I see a hovercraft. Okay, like zooming in low, and I'm like,
Okay.
hey, babe, like it's coming our way. And she could see the light, but she like couldn't really see like the outside form of it. I'm like, that's okay, that's cool. Let's just keep going, right? And we head and get to this stop sign, like me again, this is in the middle of nowhere. Um,
Uh-huh.
and we take a right, and all of a sudden I hear these guys, and they're coming. It's a low hovercraft. Okay. But something
Uh-huh.
didn't feel right about it because I've been in a lot of alien experiences with a lot of crafts. And this had I'm just gonna say a military type of feel to it.
Sure. Yeah, that's kind
Okay.
of the vibe I'm getting from you. Like it was
Yep.
because some people have it and it's very benevolent and loving, or like people are like the Pleiadian energy is very
Sure.
supportive and, uplifting of humanity's ascension process. But you're saying like this was maybe something very different of more
Totally.
military, more like kind of conflict.
Yep, yep. It did not feel good. I turn around and this craft is just barely off the floor. Okay. It
Hmm.
looked kind of like a half semi, but a half circle. Um, it was really interesting, the way that it was viewing, and I could see the other aliens around me. They were in my view. Carolee wasn't to the point where she was seeing all of those guys, and they were
Mm-hmm.
communicating with me the whole
Mm,
time, and they were like, "Hey, this is not us, and we want to make sure that you know that." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I got it, 10-4," like ready to kind of move out of that space. But instead of like coming at it from a fear space, I was
yeah.
just communicating with them with a lot of love and respect for where they're at and whatever
Yeah.
that was in the space that I didn't want. I'm like, I'm not going to interact with it. But as I'm looking at it, I see the door open and something's coming out of it. Definitely not human. Um, my dog is sitting there looking at it, and he lets out one bark, and I'm like, respectfully, Carolee, we need to head the other way right now.
I want to double click on what they said to you that said this isn't us. And so, like, what part of that, what, like, were they benevolent? Were they trying to come with a positive message? And then, like, maybe people from Earth were like, we're going to steal your technology. We want to dominate you, or, like, sort of like the
It
dark
was like
forces
that.
on
It
Earth
was,
kind
I
of
want to
thing.
say it's definitely like the polarity of that. It was
Yeah.
the distortion piece that I was viewing throughout this whole experience. And I was in this probably for days. Like there was no time for me because I was constantly working with the aliens, right? There was a lot of like no space time in there.
Yeah.
It was just them saying, I want everybody to discern that we don't have this feeling. Okay.
With the feeling of,
Love, like they were very much so a loving species, and
okay, okay.
there's many of them there, so it wasn't just one. But whatever that was in that hovercraft, and I was looking at not just the energy, I was looking at the mechanics of it. I'm like, there's earth mechanics in there, so I know that there's interference. This is not
Interesting.
just,
Because I mean, like, if you dive into like the secret space program and those kinds of things where they're
right.
kind of reverse engineering and kind of creating their own. So I almost wonder, like, if some of the alien technology was kind of used for negative forces on Earth here, and maybe they were trying to either reclaim it or to try and retune it, or I don't know what they were doing,
Totally. Yep.
but because it goes back to like the Majestic 12 and all of these things that were happening
Right.
like in the
Sure.
50s, around the
Sure.
time that the Brookings Institute came out, and they said humans can't handle the alien story. So we're just gonna like create that cover up and make,
Right.
make aliens be scary and bad. But in reality, like we were kind of, now but like people on Earth in leadership positions were kind of like
Sure.
negotiating with sort of negative alien energies and doing this sort of like trade. I mean, there's like all this research
Right.
out there. I don't
Right.
know, I don't know anything from anything, but like Laura Eisenhower does talk a lot about that.
Right.
Um, but it's interesting that you kind of witnessed sort of that reverse kind of thing where it was like maybe the humans were the aggressors and the aliens were the ones that were really loving and trying to say, hey, can you help us kind of get out of this little jam here? And
Totally. Yeah, yeah.
wow.
I mean, I've got a lot of experience with that, and I've moved through a lot of those spaces. So like if you ever want to pop on here and have deeper questions, or anybody else who like is watching this who has deeper questions, I'm very open to exploring those pieces.
Oh, I love
Um,
that topic. I really do,
yeah,
because I think
yeah,
it's our next evolution as humanity to
for sure.
understand what else is out there and to connect with a cosmic family. Because I do believe that we're being guided a lot by,
Totally.
sort of this extraterrestrial energy.
Yeah, yeah, no. It was a very loving space, and it's something that I've carried since I was little. So I know the difference between what is and what isn't. And also, I'm going to put a definite big and also there's they're so respecting of the free will and how humanity is growing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not a place of malice. It's like just understand that that's not us and get a feel for it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're not portraying ourselves in that manner. Okay, because this was like aggressive. It wasn't a nice feeling. It wasn't loving. I
Yeah.
could see the images and whatever was coming out of that. And the first thing like that would make my body afraid is that wasn't a loving space, right? I knew that there's like
Right.
some human stuff in it. And so it was for me to go, there's no right or wrong to this. That is a choice. That is a piece that humanity is working with, right? And also, like, I'm going to continue to work with these beings and understanding that the way that they're going to come through is very loving.
Yeah.
Very
So it's
supportive.
really like nothing to really fear when it comes to sort of these types of connections, but humanity has been conditioned to fear it through
Correct.
movies and through the media and through, like aliens, ha 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 ha, you must be crazy. But in reality, it's probably one of the most natural, loving things, we can experience.
For sure. And also too, their frequency is it's very different from ours. So to get them to understand, for us to get to understand them, and vice versa. I mean, we're all working with each other, right? It's for our consciousness to be at the right level where we have the ability to receive what they're offering, right?
Because I would guess they'd have to diminish sort of their vibratory rate so we can raise ours and meet them in the middle somewhere, right? Or
Sure.
or can
That's a
they
piece
still
to it.
exist at this high level?
They can still exist. I mean, that's going to be their I mean, they're all around me right now. So they're like, "No,
Hi.
we can modulate our frequency, right?"
Yeah.
That's not it. But what they're doing is also helping us evolve. So that would mean that we do need to meet them at some sort of a level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And not to get off topic from your experience, but just, as you're talking about, helping us evolve, to me, that's what I believe the Schumann resonance is just all of this sort of light code and energy
Right.
that's coming into the earth so she can, kind of awaken sort of her experiences and sort of by default, we as humanity who coexist with Earth to be able to also rise in our frequency. And so I almost wonder if like when you're talking about like a lot of aliens are sort of around you, is it because they're helping with internalizing and accepting some of these light codes, or sort of what is sort of their reason for being here?
I mean, they have so many reasons just as we do.
Oh, cool.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, I say them, I'm almost crying because I have a bunch around me and I love them so much.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
for communication, for evolution, to be present, to witness, right? To also co-create with us in certain ways, because once we understand their language and vice versa, like we can really play down here, right? We can really create in spaces that's past like what we ever thought was possible.
If you could kind of bring through some messages of what they're telling you right now and some of the things that they do want to create, what would they have to say for us?
I mean, the number one piece is don't be afraid.
Uh-huh.
Don't be afraid of us. They'll say that over and over again. Don't be afraid of how we might come to you, whether that is a sharp frequency that doesn't feel like appropriate in the body right off the bat. It's because our body is unsure of it, right? We're writing the unknown. That would be another piece is it's very unknown to us. And if we continue to be in that unknown and be safe in that, like I'm safe, I know this is unknown to me. And also me being in the unknown is going to allow me to receive these messages.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The second thing would be to completely get out of your mind, your monkey mind thinking process, and to move
Yeah.
that down into the heart. And sometimes it's not even because even when I say like to the heart, I'm even actually any of these words, I could be not connecting in a way that I want because I'm getting caught up in the words of it, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's a feeling. I'm gonna get into my body. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna take a moment to step outside of the human box that I have ever known to be in that space. Whether that's meditation, whether that's music, whether that's me just lifting my resonance into a theta state, whatever that case is to step outside of that and also to know that there is something more out there, right? And you gotta want it too. I want to meet that. I want to be with them. Okay, I want to have a chat with them.
Yeah, and I think that there's more and more people that are doing stuff like that. Like, the East Seti Ranch out in, I think it's Washington
Oh yeah,
State, where
for
there's
sure.
just, people are constantly, out there to try and find, some experience or some proof that we can collectively witness. Because it's almost as if we don't believe it when it's an individual experience because we think we're making it up, or, it
Totally.
didn't really happen the way that we saw it, or it's a hopeful wish. But like when you're in a collective group and everyone's kind of experiencing it, it's almost as if that makes it more real.
For sure.
So,
Yeah, for the human psyche, it's also very
yeah.
supportive. Like, oh wow, you saw that too? Like, I'm not alone in
Yeah.
it for one, right? And then that frequency magnifies itself because everybody had an experience. So that those waves are just gonna peel off everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. I love that so much.
And I would say as far as co-creating goes, there's so much to this human experience that we have not fully stepped into. And that co-creation with them is far past what we could ever think is possible between just automatic manifestation, between portals, between travel, like all of that is that energy fully.
Oh, you mean like even space travel?
Oh, totally.
I mean, I love the whole like I'll do this, right? And see, do you know what movie I'm doing when
Yep.
I do this?
Yep.
Which one?
Is it Arrive?
No, I was doing
Arrival?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. I
But you
got you.
know what? I actually purposely didn't say because I was like, is there another one?
Oh, yeah.
So what's the movie you just said? Arrive?
Arrival. Sorry, Arrival.
Oh,
Yeah.
Arrival. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm gonna recommend that you see it because
Okay.
yeah, it gives you some really good ideas, and some of that communication that they throw out has that half circle right off the bat. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in Doctor Strange, he has like he practices, the Marvel movies are such
Yep.
amazing like primers to help us like seed our consciousness of where's humanity literally at right now and what's the next step. And so he does this sort of thing where he creates like a circle and then you can step through it
Yep.
and you can go from like, I don't know, New York City to, I don't know, like Tibet or wherever.
Totally.
And it's like it's that fast to be able to travel. And boy, wouldn't that be amazing to just go different places so quickly? I know my son would love it. He wants to go to New York City so bad. And I was like, maybe we just do and jump from Montana to New York City in a
Oh,
heartbeat
absolutely.
for dinner.
And honestly, it'll be faster than that because it is literally one resonance. You want to
Yeah.
be there, that's a resonance, you're there. That's what
And
we're
even
supposed to
in
do.
Sonic the Hedgehog, like if you ever saw that movie, if you saw
Sure.
it with like the
Yep.
kiddos,
Yep.
and he's got this ring and he puts and it's always a circle. I don't know why it's always a circle, but like he has this circle, he's this gold ring, kind of like Lord of the Rings, throws
Yeah.
this ring out, and it through his consciousness, he has to put his destination inside the circle of that ring, and then he
Right.
can pop into it. So it's like if that kind of technology literally exists and we're just now seeding our consciousness to know that it's possible. So one day when it does show up in front of our eyes, to have this collective combined experience of reality, that we can accept it in our bodies and not reject it.
Totally. Oh, it's there 100%. It's always been there, actually.
That's so great. I really want that technology so bad.
Yeah, no, no, it's here. It's just giving us the ability to experience it, feel it, and then know that it's absolutely there. And then, of course, being able to modulate our frequency so that we have the ability to do that. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think like are our bodies kind of rejecting it and that's why we don't see it yet? Or is it because like other people are rejecting it on our behalf because they're like, oh, gee, that, then they're never going to pay their electric bill and that reduces my $1 billion salary. Like, like which side is it?
Well, I mean, it's programs, constructs that we've been living in
Yeah.
for a long time, right? And
Yeah.
those that are our safeties, even the ones that are like horrific, that we tend to go back. Well, what if I do actually have to pay? I'm still in it, right? It's pushing past those parameters and knowing that that is a part of the illusion, but it's not us to understand that we're far outside that box and that we have
Yeah.
the ability to project or do anything that we want to in the space.
Well, and also, there's an element too of I keep like the research that I love to do. All these things kind of come back to humanity here on Earth. Like we were supposed to be these like wisdom keepers of the galaxy or
Yep.
of the universe or of something massive, right? And we're just like do 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 like we have no freaking clue what we're doing. We're just having our little tiny little lives. But meanwhile, we're like libraries, either our DNA is the library or the energies on Earth are I don't know, maybe you can kind of share this, but like there's a reason why there's so much focused attention here and why there's that veil that keeps us ignorant of actually what our mission in the galactic, expanse. We're not fully there yet. And I almost wonder, like, is this, are we naturally waking up to it? Is it there's something that's kind of holding us back from it? And, and is it really we have this massive kind of responsibility?
Well, I mean, that's where I like to step back because there's so many perspectives on it. This is a
Okay.
very like on an individual level on what you feel like that is for you because that really is how we work through the universe, is what we believe and how we move through that, right? I would definitely say we're holding ourselves back on a personal level and on a collective level, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, it's always like, be the change you wish to see in the world. I mean, there's so much truth in that. And that so many of us that are drawn to these types of conversations, we're sort of that lighthouse where,
Totally.
as we maybe remember just a piece of it, like you may have a bigger piece of it, I may have like a smaller piece of it, but we're
Sure.
still that lighthouse that kind of like either vibrationally holds that space or
Right.
conversationally creating that access point of like
The
exploration
bridge.
and awareness. The
Yep.
bridge, thank you.
Yep.
That's a great,
Yep.
great word to use. That the more we have these conversations, that the more people go, oh yes, I can be a
Oh,
lighthouse too. And next thing there's brightness all over the place.
absolutely. That's why the bridges are so important. And there's so many of them down here now. Even with that, I'm like, everybody speak up. Let's go have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
With
Well,
Go
and
ahead.
sorry, and one more thought I wanted to add to that was, okay, so then there's all this stuff that I'm listening to where it's like, when like the temperature of water
Yep.
and then it hits a particular temperature and it turns to ice. It doesn't gradually turn to ice, it instantly turns to ice. So I almost
Right.
wonder, as we're talking about, like you're like, let's go, and like getting all of these bridges together, is it to the point that we get enough people that it water turns to ice and all of a sudden this new experience happens?
Oh, for sure. Yep. Because you're looking at it as like each of us is a point in the matrix, right? Each of us is, you can even take it down to like we're protons and neutrons. We're there's tiny little mechanisms, but if there's enough of us who want to be in a certain experience,
Yeah.
we're all going to group together and it's going to be that shift.
Yeah. Like waiting, waiting, waiting. Done.
Yep. Yep. Oh, wait, we're there. We made it. Because we all decided we want to resonate at the same level together.
Yes.
Okay. So, and of course that does take it. You're gonna have some of these molecules that shift out, people that shift out, right? Because they're not ready to be in that experience. And that's
Yes.
where us being able to drop these constructs, be in surrender, being the unknown, and continue to resonate at that is going to be really important.
Well, it goes back to the conversation we just had earlier where we're like, choose your friends wisely
Yeah.
because 1 + 1 = 3 to that example, like some people that are not going to resonate with this conversation or with this kind of, where we're heading are going to fall out of your experience. I've already had that where I've
Yep.
I've seen, certain people fall out of my experience. I'm like, miss you guys. But I get like we're just vibrating at different levels. Nothing bad or
Absolutely.
wrong, good, high,
Absolutely.
low. Like it's just, purple and green, right? Like it's just different. But then
Absolutely.
as that collective experience continues to expand and add more mass to it, that's what
Right.
makes the shift.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And through the human body, that's a challenging experience to be like, oh my gosh, all these people just left my life. Like,
Right.
right? And the amount of times that has happened to me, is, I mean, it's insurmountable because I continuously make those sheds. I'm like, oh, that's not a resonance anymore. It's nothing personal. It's
Right,
just
right.
I myself has changed internally. I'm at a different frequency. And knowing that, I know something better is coming into play.
Love that.
Right. So it's talking to the body, the embodiment facet of it. It's the nervous system, keeping the nervous system like in a space of like, you know what? I'm in the unknown. That's perfectly fine. I'm safe there, because it hasn't been for such a long time. And continuing to shift that into this is unknown. That person left because we're not in alignment anymore. That resonance is not in coherence. And that means there's something more coming in. Like I always get excited now. I'm like, there's something juicy coming in now because I just resonated at something different, right? Okay. And then it's how open can I be to receiving that and what that looks like? Okay. And not being attached to the actual look of what that looks like. I mean, if anything, the extraterrestrials will definitely teach you that because they come in so many formats, right? Not the ones that we think they are either. They come in so many formats. I mean, I've had them come as houses before. I've had them come in as trees before because my body was like, oh, something's different with
Oh,
that tree over there. And then they turn and shift, right? Like, oh, hey, right? They're going to come in a way that we can understand it. And if you want the full blown being, yeah, they'll be there. Um, but that's with all consciousness too, because we're all helping each other grow. It's going to come in a format that you can understand it, right? And that's something you can command in too. I want to be able to understand them. Please come in a form where I can, okay, and allowing my body to understand. Hey, I don't know what this format is, but I want it to be a loving vibe, and of course, my highest version, the highest timeline of self. And that's where we get to know what our power is and in discernment too. Oop, that didn't feel right. That's not the resonance for me. Okay,
yeah.
this is what I know is happening internally, how much work I've done with myself and how I'm resonating. That's what I want to return to me. Right.
That's pretty powerful.
We're all powerful, everybody. We
We
all have
so
this
are.
ability. I'm not the only one. There's so many of us that have this ability, and whether we've remembered it or not, or we're still working through it, it's there. It's the core root of who we are.
Amazing. Amazing.
Right.
I love it. What a great, powerful conversation to
Girl.
empower ourselves to connect with what's around us and just open that
Absolutely.
space to have that collective
Absolutely.
experience.
Oh, good conversation. We should definitely do more like this.
I love it. Yes. More to come. More to come.
More to come,
Excellent.
everybody. And of course, if you all have any questions, please ask them below, and we can dive in deeper. And please subscribe. And this is Lovely Jen. Do you wanna introduce a little bit more about yourself? What do you do?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jen. Behind the scenes with Jen. But I love having conversations with this beautiful, lovely lady Z here, and just just continuing the dialogue as we're all evolving and growing in our own personal spaces, and loving to share these conversations with all of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm Z with Z Collective, Quantum Game Changers, and Quantum Z Records. And I will pop all the information below if y'all want to kind of work with us or move with us even further. And I love you guys so much.
Yay, love you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.